So I can hear some extra 909 claps, snares and stuff on here just to crunch things up. And what I've done is I've dropped a 909 kit onto a spare channel. I said I didn't really use a lot of drum racks, but what I'm treating this as is it's almost like I'm making sort of a loop itself out of a clap hat. So I'm just going to crunch the hell out of it. At the moment everything sounds a bit clean. First of all, I'm going to map out what I'm going to do. So I'm thinking a closed hat. You've got really nice control over everything here, so I'm just going to take a bit of decay down. So basically going to get a pattern like that in. And I'm going to swing that with the 16C, the Logic Groove, so you'll definitely see a difference now. I think that is actually the best sort of lengthwise that I'm hearing, because I want it to be quite jacking and short. So I'm just going to take that first little bit there, and I'm going to get the bit warmer. So we'll put that on. I'll just solo that. I'm really going to drive this. A little bit of reverb. And what I'm going to do now is just get the actual decay and play around with the pitches to sit that in with what we've got. So we could go for a lower kind of pitch. Which gives it a darker edge, or we could leave it as was. I'm actually favouring the lower, to be quite honest. I do like things a little bit edgy on the tech tip. And let's see what it's like with the closed hat. Just pitch that down a little bit maybe. Doesn't really lend itself, to be honest. Right, so I'm going to put a clap in as well. So I'm going to get the length on that. Try a bit of glue on it. It's got a built-in compressor. So you can really hear with that clap going in, it's really edged everything up. So let me put that in. So the difference being, and then you introduce this little bad boy. I'm just going to take these hats out a little minute, just see how it's all grooving. So we need to blend all this in now. And this is what I'm on about with drum racks, really, so it gets confusing at times. What you're actually EQing, if you drop the effects directly on there, you're individually EQing stuff, so I'm always extra careful just to drop it right at the end of the chain. So I'm just going to take a bit of bottom out. And let's break out the auto filter as well. I really like this effect. So easy to use as well. So you can get, sometimes with auto filters, you just get a little something what EQ can't really give you. So I'll put a bit more reverb on just to give it that kind of washy reverb sort of warehouse feel. Yeah, not bad. There's just something troubling me a little bit with the hats, whether they just want to be a little bit lower. I feel like something's clashing a little bit, so I'm just going to try and find what the culprit is. It could be that actually, so I'm going to try groove that. I don't know if I actually did it before. No, I didn't. So I'm going to try and put the 16C on the actual loop itself. Let's have a go. Oh, 16C, commit. I think that's tighter. That's miles better for me. So all we've done there is just put the same groove as the drum rack, you know, the 909 that we had. We've just done exactly the same on the loop, and it's just, for me, it's just tightened everything up. So it's all about keeping your grooves similar. You know, if you're using the same groove on everything, it's just going to be a lot tighter rather than things just fighting against each other. But it's one of them things you have to, you know, use your ears, and obviously with experience that will come. So I think what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of a side chain on that. Let's just put it before the bit warmer. And again, just press the side chain, point it to the side chain kick. A little bit on that, and I'll put a glue compressor at the end of it as well. Let's go for full parallel. See what that sounds like. And what we could do is try the Cable Guys Pancake, the free plugin I mentioned in the other tutorial. And we could maybe try dropping that onto the actual closed hat ear. So this is where it gets tricky with drum racks. That's why I don't really use them a lot, because you have to try and remember what is individually on what. And so you can really hear that now. That's giving a really nice pan. Definitely that element, that 909 is definitely added for me that really dirty sort of techie sort of sound. So I'm just going to label that up. 909 extra drums. And I have got to say that I think that the actual, you know, the kits that come with Ableton, they're really good, especially the 909 and 808. You know, it gives you a little preview, and the fact that you can actually, you know, control every aspect. So that's that. On the next tutorial, I'm thinking maybe try and get some chopped up vocals going and see where we go with that.